Okay, now that we have our parameters set for our layout, now the next section we're going to want to go to is the background. So here is a situation where you can then select any number of colors. There's an entire rainbow here in the palette. Say we want to go ahead and choose something in our site that maybe is a bit off of a nice kind of a tan golden color. Then you just simply drag the selector, take it to where you want to. If you already know the hex value too, you can simply just paste it into the value here. You may already have a brand color that fits it and you want to go ahead and use that, so that's totally fine. So what we're looking at now is then being able to also apply some imagery. Now when you come down here, if you know the JPEG or PNG that you want to use for your background texture, you can go ahead and select it here, or if you already have it loaded to the system, then you can actually go ahead and put in the address of the URL where it's located. And for our testing purposes here, we're going to use one that I've already created, and it's part of the package. So what you're going to do is once you know that URL, you can paste it into place. And so what you'll see happen now is once that loads up, you can see that it puts a really subtle kind of a gravel texture. And in TRESS, there are already a number of images there made. A lot of them are PNGs. There are a few repeating JPEGs that are seamless. But there'll be a repository on our site where you can actually go and see that entire archive to be able to decide which ones you want. I'm just going to run through a couple real quick. And you'll see as I just change out the number is all I got to do to get to a different skin or a different texture field. And you'll see that in the background of the image in front of us, it changes. Here's one that's kind of a leather texture. Number 4, which is kind of just a grunge. Number 5, I think, runs into like a vintage kind of a halftone. So what you'll see now, and actually then there are some variations like 5A, and like I said, in that entire list you'll be able to determine which one's best for you. So what we'll do for now is just leave this as 5A. You come up here and then, let's try a different background texture behind it. Maybe we want this to be kind of sleek, and so we put a dark gray or a medium kind of a gray color in behind what we're doing, so it's a little bit more subtle. Oops. So let's close that. So now you see that we've added the gray, or if we want to maybe take it the other way where the halftone is a little bit darker than the actual background pattern. We can go both ways, and what you'll see is it starts to create some just great subtle textures. At any given time we can also add some color back in here. Maybe we want it to be a deep kind of a French red. And you'll see right there in the customizer, as these things change, you'll be able to preview them, set them. Now the other part of this too is you'll see just below where the address went in, you've got the ability to control this image. So if you put in an image that you say is just maybe a background that you'd repeat, that's a gradient maybe, that only repeats across the x-axis, not the y, then you can actually come in here and say just repeat -x, and you'll see that on the screen out here, once I do that, it actually crops it down and it is only repeating from left to right, not vertically top to bottom. You can also, if you have a large image, say center and top. And while in this demo you won't be able to see it, you can definitely see how and where center and top with repeat X. You can actually align just with basic parameters in here and basic word parameters on how you want the background to align. And if you're familiar with advanced percentages and pixel widths and all that, you can go ahead and apply those in here too. Most people are not, and so we don't necessarily account for that. But if you don't put anything in this box, that image is automatically just going to step and repeat itself to infinity. So that's kind of what we're looking at there. So that actually covers up the basics. Now, if you wanted the interior, this is the next control in this panel. The interior box of your website to not be white, but you wanted that to be a medium gray, then you can just go ahead and click on it, and you'll see that inside the box there, it changes out. And that's the entire core backdrop of your site behind all the headers and footers and everything. You will need to change those parameters if you want your headers and footers to match in their respective categories. So that pretty much covers how backgrounds are run. You've got the ability to not only set images, set background colors. The images can be any type of format, whether it's JPEG or it is PNG, you decide. And then put them on your structure. You just need to know where the address is so that you can plug them in. So anyway, we're going to move on to the next tutorial in the next video and talk about some of the other simple parameters that TRESS has to offer. Thank you.